Hello everybody, this is Dr. Beau Blakely here at the Wellness Path for another episode of our local business spotlight. And this evening we have the pleasure of having Jen and Stef, the owners of Luxxe Honor, our neighbors right across the tracks. If you have not heard about Luxxe Honor, they are an all-natural, toxin-free product company, along with having a bunch of different wellness services as well. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around real quick here so you will see them, and then we'll get started. So as always, if you have any questions, go ahead and just throw them in the comments below. And we're just going to go ahead and get this switched over. And I'm going to get them all situated, so we'll be sharing on their page as well. So just give me 1 second here.
Fabulous. Okay,
Awesome.
perfect. Great.
Just make sure we get this plugged in so we have good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure our camera is facing. And there we go. Steph, I'm going to have you just scoot in just a little bit for me. Perfect. And there we are. So.
All right. Hi. Hi. High five. Our first Facebook Live.
There we go.
You're right.
Alrighty, so as usual, for those of you that have tuned in before, we'll just kind of go back and forth, right? It's just a little bit of, we love to have other local businesses here, usually wellness related or pediatric related or somehow related to what we do here at the Wellness Path. So without further ado, we've got Steph and Jen. They are, like I said, the owners of Luxxe Honor. For those of you that are now watching on the Luxxe Honor feed, I'm Dr. Beau Blakely. I'm a pediatric and family wellness chiropractor here at the Wellness Path right across the tracks from Luxxe Honor. So the way I always like to get this started, my favorite question for any business that comes on here is really just how did it get started, right? There's always some sort of idea that led to another, and etc. So I'll just pass it off to you guys. If you could just let them all know kind of a little bit about Luxxe Honor, and about how it kind of got started.
Well, we're glad to share this story
Yeah.
because we feel passionate about the direction we're going. So Jen and I have known each other for over a decade. I used to own Daily Method, and in Grange, she was a client. Jen went off to create an amazing company making products, and one of the products that she created was a deodorant, and that was really the fascinating moment between the two of us, because I had my third Daily Method at this point in Elmhurst, and I was on a crusade to find a good, safe deodorant. I had just opened Cycle as part of my business, and I needed something that would keep them fresh, but would allow them to sweat. Alzheimer's is in my family, so it was really important to me to make sure that they were having a healthy deodorant for their day-to-day. And that's when I came across Jen's deodorant, and when I went into her facility, based on her reputation for a great deodorant, it was like a little mini reunion. Hugs, and we're like, oh my God, we know each other, and our conversations around wellness continued to grow, and what fostered from that was a connection on, let's take this to the next level, let's really take this seriously, move our personal energy into a direction where Jen and I could share this with the community and create healthy products, wellness services, and fight stress and toxins. And go ahead, chime in, Jen.
I just wanted to say, so what's beautiful about this partnership is that I'm a registered nurse and
Let's forget about that.
and an aromatherapist.
Okay.
And Steph has the MBA from Kellogg, so it's a beautiful marriage.
Yeah.
We have a beautiful marriage together.
Yeah.
So we do complement each other. And when we decided to combine our businesses, I had Luxxe Organics in Hinsdale, which was sort of a mini version of what we have now.
Okay.
And Steph had the business background and the studio. We decided that we could do more, and we decided to blend our businesses and then just take the service company and the product company to the next level.
Yeah.
So,
And I will say, I know you mentioned the deodorant, which I think that's kind of the, is that, am I right in saying that's the most popular product?
I would say so, it's our
Yeah,
baby.
yeah, and so that one, I will say I use it, it's actually on right now, right? And so, they came in over across the street
Are you
and,
gonna stay?
yeah.
it's been a long day, but
It has been a
I'm
long
still
day,
doing
Mark.
great,
Yeah,
right?
me too.
I think that's the first on Facebook Live, is we all smell ourselves, right? But I just wanna put out, you know, kind of my sentiment out there as I've tried it, I love it, it lasts forever, it seems. And so it's just great to have, like they said, toxin-free, which is another thing I wanna bring up, is that most people don't think about this very often, right? All of our household products and everything else, and I'll kind of have you guys just throw out a big laundry list of everything that's over there, because it's really long. But things that I've used are the hand soap, the body soap, the all sorts of the different aromas, the not perfume, but the what's the different?
Scented roll-ons.
Yes, the scented roll-ons, right? That kind of act like a little bit of a perfume. The deodorant, and they have all this amazing stuff over there. And for us, we're always talking about to all of our practice members, to all of our patients, about the different types of stressors that you can put on your body. And so everyone
Yes.
thinks of the mental, emotional stress, which
Right.
sure, it's life, everyone has those things, and the physical stressors we deal with a lot. And so many people, when you just say chemical stressors, they think nutrition, which is a huge role,
Right.
but they totally forget about everything else that's out there in the environment. And so, if you guys could just maybe start a bit of a laundry list of just all the different things, and then I have a few other questions to follow that up on. But if you could just kind of give the people out there just a general vibe of all
Yeah.
the different products you guys have.
We are, so beautifully said, by the way.
Yeah.
So we are a natural product company. Our goal, Steph and I always say we're on a crusade to educate our clients on all these
Awesome.
crazy toxins
Yeah.
that are in products.
Yeah.
Because people don't realize.
Exactly.
It's not just the food you eat or the air you breathe, but it's the products, the toxins that are in products to increase the shelf life.
Sure.
So in all of our products that we make at Luxxe Honor, we only use vitamin E as our preservative.
Okay.
So it's very healthy for us. So as you mentioned, we have our deodorant. Steph and I have medicinal blends that we are taking to the next level. We're
Okay.
working with a manufacturer right now to take it national.
Cool. That's exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So we do have blends to help with headache and stress and energy and joint and muscular pain. We have focus. We have a facial serum, and even our body oil has rosemary and ylang-ylang, which are good for memory, and ylang-ylang is an aphrodisiac.
Awesome. So many benefits you didn't even know.
Right. So we're really excited about this next phase with our products.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Very
and we
cool.
even
So,
have some
yeah.
simple like products that are good for our whole household, like a bug spray, right?
Mhm.
Everyone needs that, and now it's nice to have a safe alternative for that too. But yeah, I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, so I have we've been talking here, we've been thinking like, man, you know what you guys should do is you guys should do a toothpaste.
Yeah.
We've been talking, we've like,
I
they
have a
have,
recipe.
yeah,
I do.
of course,
have it.
I figured you would, right? And we talking about you guys, we're just like, you know, we love to just be able to, and we send people across the tracks because everything we do is trying to give the body the best possibility to be healthy, right?
Mhm.
And so we have to
Right.
limit all of these stressors as best we can. It's life, we're gonna be exposed to things in the environment that we can't control. Life is gonna be stressful mentally, emotionally, work, finances, family, whatever.
Right.
But these things that we can control,
Yeah.
Mhm.
we feel like you guys are just an awesome outlet to give people that opportunity to make those changes. And so what I wanted to ask for people that maybe this might be the first time they're ever hearing about, oh, I didn't even think about the toxins that are in my deodorant or in my perfume or in my household cleaners or whatever it may be that are playing a big role on people's health without them even realizing it, is there a way for people that maybe haven't been exposed to this very much to take a peek at some of their things that they're using and have an idea of, ooh, maybe I should be not using this, or maybe I need to be looking for something new? Is there kind of something on labels or just a generality of what people could look for?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. I mean, we do actually try to keep it pretty simple for people with our shopping bags that when they purchase a product, we put it put the product right in the bag, and on the bag it lists the top 10 toxins
Okay.
in everyday personal care
Oh,
products.
perfect, yeah.
So, I mean, number one is mineral oil, and that is sort of like everyone thinks, wow, mineral oil sounds so good for you,
Right.
And they don't know that. And then number two is fragrance, which is in so many products, and it's an endocrine disruptor.
That's right,
And,
that's right.
you know, and like you keep saying, a stressor, and
Yeah.
I think that's a great way to describe it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, our bag is a simple tool, but there are apps that you can download.
Okay.
EWP is one. But, you know, if you come into our studio, our business is all about education. So we're gonna certainly spend time one-on-one with every person that comes in, and we do have very healthy people and very sick people that come in. We have all ages, men, women, parent, child. I mean, our services and our products are designed to suit and serve their needs. So, we will educate them and help them understand why that ingredient is not good for you.
And I'd like to add, our number one product, as you mentioned, the deodorant. People don't realize how bad aluminum is, the
Yeah,
deodorant.
sure.
And we are against that because we want to allow our axillary glands to breathe. We
Okay.
want to be releasing toxins. Actually, we want to sweat.
Right, exactly.
And, you know, the more you're using a natural deodorant, you know, you realize that you don't even sweat anymore. My husband, you know, was amazed. He said, I've been using this for years now, and he doesn't even sweat. So it's a great product.
Yeah.
Everybody should be on the natural deodorant.
It's huge, and
Yeah.
especially with, there's a lot of stuff going on right in this area. There's a lot of
Right.
lymph in that area. Everything you put on your skin can
Yeah.
get right in there. All of a sudden it's in the bloodstream, and it's
Yeah.
it's, again, like I've been saying, and we're very much on the same page, it's just, what can you do to be healthier? And this is something that I think a lot of people could make a pretty simple switch at. It's not, is it slightly more expensive? Sure. Does it last a really long time? So it actually maybe isn't actually much more
does last
expensive.
longer.
It does.
It does. You're right.
It does. That was the first thing I noticed, because it's like, okay, is it more expensive now? I'm always willing to pay more for a nice natural product anyway, but that's always what people's thought
Yes.
is. And I was like, oh, this is lasting me
Right.
a really long time. And so I started thinking, you know, I think that's obviously a nice proponent of it, but just simple changes that people can make to totally change the trajectory of their health long term.
That's
And,
true.
and I'd like to add that these decisions are free. They're free. You're free to make a choice about what time to go to bed. Bedtime's really critical for your wellness.
Yeah,
You're free to choose what products go on your body.
sure.
You're free to put whatever food you want in your body, right?
Absolutely.
And you're free to move your body. It could be a walk. It could be a run. It could be, you know, going to a class if you're lucky enough to be able to afford to go to a class.
Absolutely.
So these things are
Absolutely.
all free. So
Absolutely.
it's really very enlightening, I think, when people start to think in those terms, like, it's my choice to unplug and go for a walk. It's good for me.
Huge.
You know?
Yeah.
So you just gotta get that mindset going.
And the other thing that we always talk is when, you know, obviously what we do here and what you guys do over at the clinic is it's not necessarily free, the actual product is service, right? It's
No.
free to make that choice, but then we always talk, well, it's not really an expense, right? This is an investment, right?
Exactly.
It's an investment in your health, and when people start, it's all about the mindset, and when they start to understand that, it's how much money are we saving long-term when we're making these decisions that may cost slightly more for our immediate health currently. I know, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, add to that because you have more vitality in life.
Yeah.
And when you're on products that have toxins in it, there are always side effects to them. You know, just like antibiotics, you wanna limit that.
Yeah.
You know, why not take the least invasive approach first?
Yeah.
And with our products that are more medicinal, we always tell our clients, you know, think of it as plant medicine.
Yeah.
Because the essential oils that are in these products that we make come from plants.
Yeah.
And we always say, you know, what did people do 2,000 years ago?
Right.
When they got a burn?
Right.
They went to the aloe plant.
Right.
You know, they didn't go to Walgreens, they weren't on Sylvadine, they used the aloe plant.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it. So, for those of you watching, the way that this kind of works is we, as the Wellness Path, put out some questions and we said, hey, we're having Luxxe Honor here. What kind of questions would you like us to ask, right? And then we did the same thing, and we were able to take some questions from the Luxxe Honor kind of community and say, hey, we're going to be at the Wellness Path. what would you like us to ask about that, right? We see a ton of kids, a ton of families, that's usually where a lot of the questions are asked. Are usually the number one is, why the heck would a kid go to a chiropractor, right? And I know that was a question that comes up pretty much all the time. So for those of you out there, I always like to just take that one right on. And so people ask, it's the two things. It's either one, why would a kid go to a chiropractor, or what are the most common things you see as someone who specializes in pediatrics? And so my simple answer to that question is that it's usually not pain related, right? Everything that we do here at the Wellness Path is all based on the brain and the nervous system and how the body functions. And that's why we're so concerned with all these stressors, because we are concerned with how they're feeling, obviously, but what we're more concerned about, how are they functioning, right? And so what can limit the function of the body is those physical, chemical, and mental, emotional stressors. And so with kids, and kids can use all these products too, right?
Of course,
Yeah.
yes.
Clean as can be, right? You don't have to worry about, oh, I'm pregnant, I can't use this, or oh, this kid can't use this, because it's already clean, right? That's the awesome part about all this stuff. But some of the common things that we see here when kids do get overstressed, whether that be from birth being a traumatic process, whether that be from the environment or the chemicals or the nutrition, whatever it may be, it all comes down to the common things we're seeing right now is a lot of ADD, a lot of ADHD, anxiety, unfortunately, for kiddos, depression, a lot of allergies, asthma, constipation. For the really little guys, the colic or the reflux or the trouble latching or breastfeeding. So these are just some of the things that when we start talking, and you were talking about education earlier, and it's the same thing for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
People don't, just how they don't understand that how bad some of these products that they're using could be for them, they also don't understand what a chiropractor, why the heck would a chiropractor be seeing a kid, right? And now we do see adults as well, but it's all really, education is all that we do too, right? We want the community, the Grange and surrounding communities, and that's why we love teaming up with you guys and other like-minded businesses, of just to understand the options out there when it comes to just being as healthy as they possibly can and living the life that they want to live.
Absolutely. You don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
You have to be open to these least invasive services.
Yeah.
Because they're very beneficial to the body.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, why go well, for us it's always a lot of, well, maybe I'm thinking about surgery, and why would you do that, or why would you maybe go the medicine route first? Not saying those things are bad, and they're actually some absolutely incredible inventions that when needed are life-saving, literally. But there's so many other options to go first when your body is showing signs of struggling and maybe not being as healthy as you would like. And I think Luxxe Honor gives a great opportunity, and we like to see ourselves doing the exact same thing. And so I love when you guys moved in. How long has it been now?
6 months.
Yeah.
6 months. That flew by, huh?
Sure
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
It's been busy.
Yeah.
We've really grown in our membership, and we make it really affordable and easy to come for services.
We have 45 people on our team right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have skincare, we have estheticians, that use an oncology approved line.
Awesome.
We have body care.
Yeah, that was my next question is, we talked a little bit about the products, but there's a whole other side of the business too with the wellness and all the professionals you have over there. So you could kind of touch on some of those things as well.
Yes, so we have face care, and then we have body care, which encompasses Reiki and massage and lymphatic drainage by an occupational therapist. We have our instructors. We do meditation and Pilates and 3 levels of yoga. We also have coach care. With our coach care, we have a number of practitioners. I think we have 15 or 16 right now that are life coaches, health coaches, acupuncture. We have advanced movement therapists. We have someone that practices Ayurveda. We even have a doctor on staff that will be teaching an elimination lifestyle change class in the fall. And then we have another doctor who specializes in nutrition. And she used to have a practice in the city, and she's all in with us now.
Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, so there's a plethora of options. One thing I wanted to mention for those of you out there on the Wellness Path community is Jen had mentioned a meditation class, and we actually they were generous enough to, because we're working with each other now in such similar mindsets, as you can already tell, they were generous enough to give us the opportunity to give some of our practice members a little free meditation. Is it meditation and yoga, or is it just?
So some classes are meditation and
Okay.
yoga, and some are just pure meditation. So
Okay.
whatever class you want to take. Maybe if you just want to do yoga, that's fine too.
Yeah. So we have those available here. So we have, as always, we have them up on our community board, but we also have plenty more in the back. So when the community board runs dry, we'll always be having them for you guys. But for those of you out there, if you're interested in that, absolutely, please let us know. We'd love to have you go try out a class. And then the other thing you mentioned is a membership. I wanted to ask a little bit more of just kind of what that entails. Is there different levels? Is it kind of like a gym membership where it's just a come when you want to come? And how does that kind of work?
So that's a great question. And we're super excited to be partnering with you because I'm going to chime in on like that new member benefit that we have with you. But so our membership is designed to have people thinking about self-care, hopefully once a week, 4 times a month, and the membership's $100. So it's super affordable, and it entitles you to either face or body care each month. So it's a personal appointment. Face is facial, body is Reiki or massage or lymphatic massage, as Jen mentioned. And then you get unlimited classes, the yoga, the meditation, and then you get unlimited workshops, and we have all sorts of topics on our workshop calendar. In fact, we have one coming up with the wellness path on ADHD, anxiety in kids, and that's early September. I think it's the 11th.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And they're 45 minutes, and they're $10. If you don't want to be a member, that's fine, but it is included in membership. And coming this fall, right after Labor Day, all members will receive a free consultation here at the Wellness Path as part of their membership. So, you know, our membership has grown significantly. We have room to grow still with our membership, but if it's not right for you, no problem. We have a la carte. And membership is designed to be stress-free, so it's affordable. It's $100 a month. You can cancel anytime, so there's no contract. And all the appointments, services, classes are under an hour, so it's easy on your calendar and your time management.
Very cool. So I wanted to touch a little bit for those of you. This is like breaking news right now that we're offering this consultation and we're working together, right?
I know.
It's out there now.
It's out there, yeah. But for the consultation, right? It's going to be more than just it's. We'll take a little second to chat and we'll have you fill out a little bit of a paperwork just to get an idea of kind of what you're looking for. Why would you be coming into the office? But then we also have all of our nervous system scanning technology, which really gives us the objective measurements of how is your body functioning, right? Because again, I'm retouching on it because people are always concerned about how they're feeling, right? A lot of times we say, well, how do you know you're healthy? And it's, well, I don't have any symptoms. I feel pretty good. That's great. But if you're not functioning well, it's only a matter of time until you're not feeling well.
Right.
And so we want to get to that kind of base layer. And so that's what the nervous system scans. And so what we'll be offering is that consultation along with one free nervous system scan. So we use 3 for our full exam. And so for the consultation that we're offering, we'll be doing a consultation where you get to sit down and talk with me for however long it takes, 10, 15, 20 minutes, along with a free, one of the 3 free. And so then we can give you a little bit more information of what we're seeing, and if you're interested, then we can go ahead and proceed with everything else that we do in the exam, which includes all 3 of those nervous system scans, x-rays, as well as some right-left neurological brain testing, which just gives us a huge amount of information and kind of allows us to put the pieces together of, okay, this is what's going on. And then we'll set some goals with you of, hey, this is where you're at now. That's what all the information tells us. Where do you want to be? What are you trying to do in life? What are you missing out on because of X, Y, and Z? And so then that allows myself and Dr. Vic, the other doctor in the office, to kind of put both our minds together and both our eyes on it and say, okay, they're here, they want to get here. How often do we need to see them? How many weeks? How many months, etc. So we can work together with you to get you to those goals. And so we're really, really excited to be offering that and to be working with Luxxe Honor in many, many ways.
Yeah, I'm excited. I want to.
I know.
I think I better test drive this.
I was thinking the same thing.
So I think I better experience it. I'm like, I want to sign up.
I know.
That sounds fantastic.
We can
Right,
definitely-
because
we
if
can
you're not
definitely do
feeling
that,
well,
No, really.
obviously it's already too late. It's like when you're dehydrated. Well, it's because or you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Same thing. So I'm very interested. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the workshop that we're going to be having with you guys, we're obviously excited for that. That's our biggest workshop, and really at the core, it's just, well, what does a chiropractor do for kids, right? It's specifically towards ADD, ADHD, anxiety, depression, because that's what we're seeing, unfortunately, all too often. And it's right at the back to school months, so it's a key time when a lot of more parents are kids are getting, or parents are getting phone calls from teachers talking about behavior or focus or
Mhm.
all those things. So we'll be talking about that on the September 11th at 6 p.m., right?
6:45.
6 p.m. And so Dr. Vic will be doing all that talking, but it's a really popular talk. But I did have a couple other questions for you guys when it just comes to Luxxe Honor and everything that they have. This is a little bit of a personal one. I like to just ask some fun questions every once in a while. I think I probably know Jen's answer to this question, but we'll start there anyway, is what is your favorite product that you guys have? I figured that's your baby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is because, again, everyone should be educated that they should be on a natural deodorant to release those toxins. And it's been so successful. People are loving it. You can choose from 3 scents.
Okay.
And I just think it's the most important product to be
So
on.
I know we've got I've tried the lavender as well as lemongrass, right?
Got
What's
it.
the third one?
The peppermint.
Okay, I haven't used that one.
That's right.
I haven't used that one. Maybe I'll have to try that one next.
Yeah. No, they're amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are. And Steph, what about you? Is that just like the easy answer, or do you have one that just kind of tugs at your heartstrings a little bit?
I love deodorant, but I am like a big fan of the roll-ons. We have a
Okay.
whole collection of roll-ons, and they're all scented, so it depends on my mood that day. I'll wear a different roll-on a different day, but some of them are like designed to help with headache or sinus, like to help with your immune system.
Okay.
Some are like a little more grounding and just strike a chord with me as far as how they smell and make
Sure.
me happy.
Sure.
But I can't leave home without my roll-on. I've actually left home, turned around, gone home and got a roll-on because there's times I'm at a red light and I'm like, I need my roll-on. I'm like,
There
okay,
you
everything's
go.
better now.
There you go.
And I'm a nicer person.
Yeah. And are those essential oil based? I'm guessing.
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
In fact,
they replace perfume.
Okay.
Which is
do.
number 2, fragrance is the top.
That's huge.
Number 2 for top 10 toxins.
Yeah.
and Steph and I are taking the roll-ons national. We should probably mention that.
Another one going national. That's so exciting.
We have a lot more going national. So we want to take our roll-ons that are more of a scent, a beautiful scent. But
Okay.
there are always properties in there that are going to help the body. So we're working right now with the manufacturer, and we're getting ready.
Awesome. That's super exciting. So the deodorants are working their way national. The roll-ons are working their way national. In terms of just long-term outlook for Luxxe Honor and what is right now across the tracks from us, where are your heads kind of at? Where could this thing go?
So we've always had our eyes on having this beautiful flagship location to create a template for future growth in new locations, franchisees. So we're really teeing ourselves up now to be organized so that when a franchisee opens up a location, a Luxxe Honor, they are set up for success. And we give them a roadmap, 3 months, 6 months, a year, and they can move forward and have no trial and error.
Sure.
And then, of course, we also created this business so that we have the services to actually use the products.
Okay.
It's actually,
yeah.
eating our own dog food, so to speak, but having
Yeah.
our whole community experiencing them.
I like it.
And that just creates that like organic education, and they're just starting to adopt it. So the location is key to the launch pad for our products, which is, we've always had our eyes on that. We've worked almost 2 years just on the product initiative, and we felt this was so important, having a location to really create the experience, educate and support, and give people a place to go.
Sure. So down the road, maybe we'll be seeing Luxxe Honors all over the place, right? And just
Hell
giving,
yeah. That better be the case.
Yeah, giving people even more options, right? Right now, we're working with not Luxxe Honor, with the Grange community, right?
Yeah,
And surrounding
great.
communities. I'm
Right,
sure,
yeah.
just like us, you dip into Hinsdale and Grange Park and all these other areas.
Oh.
But right, there's all those other communities that, again, most people don't know that what they're doing to their bodies when they just
I know.
put on their deodorant in the morning,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
And it's just,
It's frustrating.
Right, antiperspirants are known to cause Alzheimer's and known to be carcinogenic.
yeah.
So we want to be known as the Luxxe Honor girls that are going to be fighting toxins.
Awesome. I love it. So just one final question with you guys. The name Luxxe Honor, it catches your attention, and I love the Luxxe with the line in front of it and the logo. How did that come about?
Well, it was formerly Luxxe Organics.
Okay.
And we could not trademark that because it was taken. So Steph and I decided, we love Luxxe. It's just luxurious, and we were really feeling that. And then we spent several months trying to figure out a replacement for organic.
Okay.
And the one word that we kept coming back to was honor. You know, we need to honor ourselves, we need to honor each other, we need to honor the products and the services.
Yeah.
And so we decided that Luxxe Honor was the right name for us.
Yeah, and the Luxxe word too was also part of self-care, right? So don't think of it as a luxury, self-care, like you said earlier, it's an investment, but why not feel good about it? Like our face care program is amazing. It is a facial, but it's neck up, it's a functional, we give you good dietary tips and everything, but it still feels right. Yeah. Right? And who doesn't want to feel good? And if you don't self-care for yourself, well, who's going to? And if not now, then when?
Exactly, exactly. I love it. And one thing I just have to chime in is the word Luxxe, to me as a chiropractor, we talk about a term called a subluxation, right? And basically, what it means is basically just what we're looking for when we're looking at the body is we're looking for this thing called a subluxation. It's a fancy word. We actually don't really use it too often. What it means basically is that there's a miscommunication between the brain and the body, and so all of a sudden your nervous system's not functioning the way it should. And the way we describe it, if you break it down, is sub meaning below, lux meaning like light, and then ation meaning a state of being. So it's if you have a subluxation, you're expressing less light on the world.
Oh, wow.
And so to me, when I think of it, obviously, it's like, okay, Luxxe Honor, you're giving them all this different stuff to then be able to express more light on the world. And
I
so
love that.
I think that's kind of the chiropractic behind the scenes
that was part of our
spectrum of it,
too.
right?
Yeah.
And so I had to throw that in there of
Thank you for
just
sharing that.
kind of that aspect of what we talk about that sometimes. And so Luxxe to me just always means kind of that vibrancy of what we're trying to create with all of our patients here, of just allowing them to be more vibrant, especially the kiddos. They should be happy, healthy, and vibrant, and unfortunately there's just so many that are struggling with a lot of different things, and parents are out there searching for answers, and I think both of us, we team up great and can give parents and just adults as well, but just some of those answers that they're looking for when it comes to taking their health to the next level and just raising the bar of the entire community.
Yeah,
Right.
Awesome.
Agree. Well, thank you.
Awesome
for that.
stuff.
Thank you.
Yes,
You
I
and
will.
Dr. Vic.
Yeah, so last but not least is how can, obviously I tagged you guys on the Facebook post and you guys are sharing, but how can they get a hold of you guys if they're looking to come into the studio or products or things like that?
So our address is 311 Hillgrove. We're located in the Grange. We are on LuxxeHonor.com. We have online shopping, so you can always visit our website. And that's the best way to contact us.
Awesome.
Yeah, but we do have a cell phone at the studio, so you can text us. We are text friendly. You can call us too. It's on our website, and of course you can email us at info@LuxxeHonor, and we accept instant messages too. So we have a plethora of ways that you can contact us. But whatever strikes your fancy.
Perfect. Yeah, whatever strikes your fancy. And for those of you out there watching that haven't heard of us before at the Wellness Path, obviously it's our Facebook page, so you can always contact us through there. Otherwise, our website is visitthewellnesspath.com, or we have wellnesspathevents.com where we list all of our just events if you're only looking to come. Whether it be a workshop like at Luxxe Honor, we do all sorts of different stuff around the community. So please do reach out. We'd love to help. And I will go ahead and just make sure real quick that if there weren't any questions, and then we'll be all set.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Beau.
Yeah, thank you.
Alrighty. Looks like we are all good, so I will